Welcome to Minifilm. Today, I will show you a dramatic film from 2015, called Natasha. The film begins with a boy named Mark. He is partying with his friends. After the party, Mark goes to a room to have an encounter with a girl, but she refuses.
Mark then leaves quietly.
On his way home, Mark watches videos of Mia Khalifa on his computer and falls asleep. The next day, Mark's mother wakes him up and tells him that today, his uncle is coming to see him, so he needs to get up early and get ready. Then, we see Mark's uncle with his wife, Gina, who is originally from Russia. They have dinner together and Mark's eyes fall on Gina's bra. After dinner, Mark's mother tells him that Gina is leaving for Russia today to pick up her 14-year-old daughter. A few days later, we see Mark's family going to pick up Gina at the airport. Gina arrives with her daughter, Natasha. Mark meets Natasha for the first time. A few days later, Mark's uncle marries Gina. After the wedding, everyone comes to Mark's house and celebrates. Mark was only looking at Natasha. After the party, Mark takes Natasha to his room. She asks him what he usually does in his room. Mark replies he often plays video games and studies in his room.
Natasha asks him if he has ever brought a girl to his room to make love with her.
Mark tells her she's just 14 and shouldn't be talking about sexual acts. Natasha reveals to him that she has already slept with more than 100 people, and if he wants, they can do it too. Mark tells her his mother married his uncle, so she is his cousin. Natasha says she doesn't care and that anyway her mother has slept with other people multiple times. Mark falls silent. One day, Mark's mother comes to see him and tells him that Natasha is new in this town and has no friends, which is why he will have to spend more time with her.
The next day, Mark comes to Natasha's house. She opens the door, then her mother asks her to get ready and go out with Mark.
But she leaves the room angry with her mother. Mark asks Natasha why she was angry with her mother. Natasha tells him that she doesn't like her mother at all and that she hates her a lot. Mark takes Natasha to one of his friends, Rufus. Natasha loves meeting Rufus and asks Mark about him. Mark tells Natasha that Rufus lives alone because a few days ago, his parents went on a trip to another city. Then, Mark and Natasha go to a restaurant and eat together. The next day, while Mark was studying at home, Natasha comes to see him and they go out for a bike ride. Mark meets some friends on the way and gives them drugs. Seeing this, Natasha asks Mark for drugs. The two sit in the room and take some. Natasha asks Mark for permission to use his laptop. As soon as she opens the laptop, she sees adult videos. Mark was watching his adult videos, but he forgot to turn them off. Natasha likes watching videos. She opens Facebook profile, shows him private photos. Seeing photos, Mark's excitement rises. Natasha starts taking off clothes, and he begins to make love in the room with Natasha. After this experience, he starts to have fun, appreciate it and spending more and more time together. They sleep together several times a day. Mark slowly begins to be attracted to Natasha. One day, Mark's uncle and Natasha's mother go on a trip, and Natasha has to stay at Mark's place. They are together in the room and talking. Natasha says she loves being with Mark and wishes she could stay here forever. Mark tells her she can stay here as long as she wants. Natasha sadly tells Mark that her mother is cheating on his uncle with another man. She says she told her uncle everything, but he didn't believe her at all. Then, we see Mark's uncle and Natasha's mother who have just returned from their trip. Natasha's mother asks her to come home with her, but Natasha says she doesn't want to leave because she wants to stay. Natasha's mother tells her that she knows why she doesn't want to leave, and all the things she has done with Mark. Upon hearing this, Natasha starts to fight with her mother, but Mark's father catches her. The next day, Mark comes to meet Natasha at her home, and Natasha's mother tells Mark that her daughter is spoiled and her habits are quite dirty. She has slept with many older and younger people. Saying this, the mother closes the door and asks Mark to leave. Natasha comes to Mark's house with all her belongings. Natasha tells Mark that she is going back to her town. So, would you like to accompany me? Mark says nothing after Natasha says that her mother divorced her uncle because she slept with her uncle, and her mother saw them. Mark takes Natasha to her room to leave the next day. Mark is saddened by this because he has fallen in love with Natasha. In the morning, Mark gives Natasha some money from him so she can leave. After that, Natasha quietly leaves, taking her belongings. In Mark's house, the topic of uncle's divorce is already being discussed. Mark knew the whole truth but didn't tell anyone. After a few days, Mark's friend Rufus calls him, but Mark doesn't answer his calls. One day, Mark goes to Rufus's place and sees Natasha, who is now living with him. Rufus tells Mark that he called him several times to talk about Natasha, but he didn't answer. Mark looks at Natasha with anger and realizes that their love story was just a deception. Mark takes his bike and leaves in anger, and Natasha just continues to watch him.